Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weekly live stream with Britcent. We have a few of our regular listeners, or participants, should I say, with us today. So hello to Chan, welcome back. And Sun Young, hello. Hi to Beatrice. And hello, Sorry. Welcome, guys. How are you today on this fine evening? It must be evening where you guys are, probably. Sun Young says, long time no see. I didn't participate last time. Yes, I remember. We missed you, Sun Young. Hello to Stefania. Welcome back. Ciao. Thanks for joining. You must be feeling cold in London, Stefania. It's freezing today. Hello to Sewu. Welcome back. Hello. Who else do we have in the house? Hello to Kim. Welcome to the live stream. So for those of you who don't live in London, it is snowing over here right now. It's been snowing since last Sunday. And, you know, I haven't left the house in 4 days, which is a bit depressing, I think. But I just really didn't want to go out in the snow. Even just opening the window a crack is enough. It's freezing out there. It's -1 today. And I hate freezing temperatures, so I'm keeping safe and warm inside. What about you guys? Is it snowing where you are? Sun Young said it's a little warm in Korea. Oh, that's very nice. I can't wait for the warmth of summer. Hello to Yelim, welcome. And Julie as well. Julie asks, is it common to snow in February in England? I would say if it does snow, it normally does snow at the end of January, February. So it's not too unusual to see snow at this time of year, but it doesn't snow every year. So it's a little bit unpredictable. Such is the weather in England. So, for example, last week, we had temperatures of, I think it was last week, it was about 10 degrees above zero, so 10, 11 degrees. And then suddenly, last Saturday, Sunday, it went down to -1. So it was quite a big jump. So you never know what to expect here in the UK. Yeah. Hello to Charlotte. Welcome. Welcome back. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. So as I said, I haven't left the house in 4 days because of the weather. If the weather was nicer, I would probably have gone for a walk for my daily exercise, which is part of what we're going to be talking about today in this live stream. We're going to be discussing the famous, or maybe I should say infamous, coronavirus. I don't want to depress you too much, so we're not going to be speaking about the virus itself, but we're going to be discussing how life has changed in the UK since the start of the virus, since it started spreading here in the UK. I'm going to be teaching you some new phrases and words that we are using quite often here in Corona times, and telling you about trends and you know, the new way of life that we're living in the UK. And perhaps you will relate to some of these things in your own countries. So I'd be very interested to know if any of you have experienced these things that I'm going to mention, or maybe you have a similar word in your own language which is new because of COVID. So this is why we've called it Coronaspeak, meaning the language of Corona. Unfortunately, not Corona the beer. I wish we were talking about that, but this is our life right now. So I think it's quite a relevant topic, quite something that everyone can relate to right now. So let's welcome some of our other participants. We have Hohen. Welcome back, Hohen. Lovely to see you here. Hello to Henna. Welcome. And we have somebody from Russia. Wonderful. I'm not sure how to say your name. Is it Anna, or am I getting that wrong? I'm glad that you like the online stream. Thank you for joining us. That's lovely to hear. Yelim says, I want to drink a beer. Yes. A beer on a nice warm day on a beautiful beach would be amazing right now. We'll have to make do with the snow. Hello to Chris, welcome, and to Foodie. Foodie, just like me. So one of the phrases that has come up quite a lot in the UK, perhaps in your countries as well, is the phrase new normal, what we call the new normal. I guess this is what we would call a buzzword. A buzzword being like a kind of trendy word or phrase that people are using a lot at the moment. So the new normal, what do we understand by this? I would probably say that the new normal means a new way of living life, which now we are calling normal. Okay, so this is something that a lot of friends of mine are saying, a lot of people say on the news, in interviews and things, talking about the new normal of coronavirus. For example, one of the new normal aspects is wearing a face mask. So I know that obviously in most countries around the world, people are wearing face masks now. And I'm not talking about the beautiful Korean face masks that make your skin look amazing, which I've been trying to use each week. No. We're not talking about those ones. We're talking about these ones. So face masks, or you could say face coverings instead of face masks as well. I'll tell you a little bit about the rules in the UK, the regulations right now. So in the UK, people are expected to wear a mask on public transport. So if you go on the train, on the tube in London, if you go on the bus or in a taxi, you have to wear a face mask. And you also have to wear a face covering when you go into any sorts of shops. So supermarkets, small shops, any shop at all. You don't, however, have to wear a mask when you go on the street. So when I go out for my walk each day to get some exercise, I don't wear a mask. That's because it's not mandatory. It's not, it's not a must. Obviously, everybody makes their own rules as well. Like some people do wear a mask when they go out for a walk, others don't. It's up to you, really. But if you don't wear a mask inside, so indoors, like in shops and things like that, you could be fined. So you might have to pay like a penalty, basically, pay a fine. Okay. We call it a fine, to pay a fine. Or you could say to pay a penalty fee as well. And nobody wants to pay a penalty fee. So I was watching the news a couple of months ago, and they said that 90% of people in the UK are following the regulations on public transport and in shops with face masks. 90%. The other 10% are not. I don't know why. Although you don't have to wear a face mask on public transport if you have some sort of medical condition which doesn't allow you to wear a covering over your mouth and nose. Like I think asthma is one of them. So people who suffer from asthma might not need to wear them. I don't know how you prove that. I don't really know, but that's what they say on the notices around on the tube and stuff. So I just wrote this here, yeah. So if you break the regulations, you break the rules, you may need to pay a fine. or a penalty fee. Okay. I'm not sure how much it is, but it has gone up recently because people were breaking the rules when it not necessarily with face masks, but they were breaking social distancing rules. So like having gatherings and things when they shouldn't, which is another aspect of the new normal that we were talking about. So let's take some time to look at some comments. So Chris, hello, good afternoon. Hello to Sue as well. Thank you for joining us. Foodie has asked, can you buy Korean masks in the UK? If you're talking about the beauty masks or skin masks, you can buy them online. I actually bought some over Christmas, and they're great. So yes, you can find them. Probably a bit more expensive than in Korea, but you can find them, yes. Sewu says telecommuting is new normal. What do you mean by telecommuting exactly? Kang says, wow, if so, Korean people would see me here. Only 90%. Yes, 90%, exactly. Do you think people in your countries are following the rules when it comes to, face coverings, face masks? Jamie says we should wear masks even when exercising. In Korea. Really? Oh my goodness, that must be really difficult. Yeah, in the UK you don't have to. When the gyms were open, at the moment everything is closed. The gyms are all closed. But when they were open, I think the last time I went to the gym when it was open was probably, I don't remember, maybe October, I think. You had to wear a mask when you entered the building, but when you're like running or on a bike, you can take it off. And of course, you are advised to wipe down the machines religiously and that sort of thing. Hello, Miss Jones from Malta. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We have a question here from somebody. I can't read your name, but I'm going to answer your question. Is the UK currently implementing lockdown policy again? Yes, it is. So that's another good word that we use a lot, lockdown. So thank you for mentioning that. So you can say that we are on lockdown, okay? So to be on lockdown. So yes, here in the UK, we are currently on lockdown. And to be honest, we were on lockdown most of 2020. I believe the lockdown began in, I think it was March 2020. And it continued until I think it was June, roughly. Then the restrictions that we were following started to be reduced. They started to ease the lockdown restrictions in the summertime, and then again we went on lockdown in November, December time, and we're still on lockdown now. Yeah. So we normally say on lockdown. So you can say in the UK we are on lockdown. Okay. They haven't used the word lockdown in the media. The Prime Minister didn't actually use the word lockdown when they announced this for the new year. They instead implemented what we call a tier system, like levels. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier, by the way, is spelt like this. So it's kind of like another word for level. This is how you spell it. And we went into tier 3 and then into tier 4. So basically the restrictions got stricter and stricter, basically. I'm just going to show you that again because I don't think you could see that. TIER. So a couple of questions, other questions. So Sun Young says, where are you, Sun Young? I didn't think it would be okay when people work out in the UK. Yeah, you can. You can work outside. Like you can go outside for a jog or a run or walk or whatever. You don't have to wear a mask. At the moment, the gyms are closed, so there's no way of working out in a gym at the moment. Yeah. Sorry says, should you wear a mask after you get a vaccination? That's a very good question. I would probably say yes. I would probably say that the government are still advising everybody to wear a mask when they come in contact with other people. So I don't think that you should remove your mask even if you've been vaccinated. Although I don't know what the rule is for that, because not enough people I know have been vaccinated. The vaccine started in February. No, end of January, sorry. And yeah, they started with elderly people, so over 90, and then over 80, over 70. So it's kind of going down in the years. And obviously care workers, what we call frontline workers. That's another buzzword, I guess you could call it, that you might hear in the media. Frontline workers are people who are in contact with the public on a daily basis. So it could be somebody who works in a hospital, or somebody who cares for others, like care workers, things like that. Somebody who is on the front line, like they are like the point of contact for the public. So they're more at risk, basically. So there's they are being prioritized, as well as, of course, the elderly as well. Some other questions. In lockdown and on lockdown. Yeah, I mean, I've heard both, to be honest. You can say in or on lockdown. I did Google this to double check, but I saw that in or on are both pretty much used. Yeah. Yelim says, when just started lockdown in the UK, I just came back to Korea. Yeah, a lot of my students did that as well. Some students were studying in the UK at universities, and their universities closed and they went online. So they went back to their countries as well. Yeah. Nemo says, no matter which country you are, there are always people who hate following the regulations. Yes. Even New York City has an area full of people fighting to not wear masks. Ugh, terrible. I don't really understand that or agree with that myself. I mean, yeah, we saw it on the news as well here in the UK. People saying that it's part of their rights to be able to breathe without a mask. But I think it's quite selfish. So yeah, there's always rule breakers. It's true. Yeah, we call these people rule breakers. People who like to break the rules, not follow the lockdown rules. Rule breakers. Beatrice says, in Brazil, many people are not following the rules. Aha. The government should do a penalty fee for people that throw a party. Yeah, definitely. Well, in the UK as well, apparently there have been people having parties, like, like actual big raves and things, in some parts of the country. So a couple of months ago, the government decided to impose like strict penalties. So if anybody is caught having a party or gathering at their house, they could be fined like thousands of pounds. I don't really know how this is regulated, because I don't think they can check every person's house. And people don't like to report on their neighbors. Like nobody wants to go and like tell the authorities that their neighbors are breaking the rules. It doesn't seem very, I don't know, it doesn't seem like you're kind of, it sounds like you're kind of like telling tales on them, like, ooh, let me tell the authority. Of course, if one of my neighbors was having a massive party, I would probably hear it and probably I would report it, to be honest. And I'm sure other people would. But if it was a small gathering, I wouldn't bother. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not really part of our culture in the UK to kind of tell authorities on others. You know, even when you see someone not wearing a mask, I think you just try and keep away from them instead of like saying something to them. I don't know what it's like in your countries. Do people like confront others who don't wear a mask or something like that? Or do you kind of keep to yourselves and just kind of mind your own business? I don't really know. What do you think about that, guys? Let me know. Sue says, can somebody enter the UK during lockdown? At the moment, there's quite a few travel restrictions. Although I know that you can enter the UK from some countries. It kind of depends on the country. At the moment, there's a travel ban on a few countries and areas of the world. South America, unfortunately, is one part of the world because apparently there's some new strain of the virus. So there's a ban, a travel ban, that's what we call it, on anyone coming from a South American country. And I think also South Africa as well, I think, because again, there was another strain of the virus there. But from other countries where there isn't any new strain of the virus or problem, I believe you can travel to the UK. Flights are quite limited at the moment, and you do need to self-isolate when you land. So that's another phrase to remember. Self-isolation, which is a noun. And the verb is to self-isolate. At the moment, people coming from any country abroad need to self-isolate for 10 days in the UK. This means that you need to basically stay indoors and not go anywhere or see anyone for 10 days. I believe you can you can self-isolate for 5 days and then have a COVID test. And when you have to pay for this COVID test, obviously, which is quite expensive. It's about £150 or more because it's a private thing. It's not a NHS thing, like government run. So yeah, you can pay for a test, and then if your test is negative, then you can live normally. You can come out of self-isolation. Otherwise, you have to quarantine or self-isolate for 10 days. That's the current rule. Yeah. Charlotte says, in Korea, it's 2 weeks. Well, it was 2 weeks before, but then most of last year it was 2 weeks, and then they reduced it to 10 days, basically. I'm not sure when that happened. I think it was towards the end of the year, last year. They made it 10 days instead. Yeah. Okay, so some of you are asking about a red list of countries. Yeah, I've heard amber list as well and red list. Yeah, so red list, I'm not sure if it's red list or blacklist. I think it would be blacklist. Let me look this up because I'm not sure. And I don't want to give you the wrong information. Oh yes, red list. Okay. Well, yes, there are color codes apparently in Europe. So we've got red, green, and yellow, or amber. You can say amber instead of yellow. Red list means that there are total travel bans, so nobody can enter the country from there. If you're on the amber list, like the yellow list, there are restrictions, but you can travel, but there are certain restrictions. And the green list means no problem, you can travel. Yeah. So hopefully that answered your question. Let's have a look at some other questions and comments here. Beatrice says, I try to stay distant from other people. Yes, that's another very important phrase, guys, when it comes to coronavirus. Social distancing. Lovely. This is one of the major restrictions here. This is a noun, okay, social distancing. It basically means keeping a safe distance between yourself and other people in order to prevent the spread of the disease, okay, or the virus. They say 2 meters, 2 meter distance is what you should try to aim for. Then they started saying it should be 1 meter at least. So between 1 meter and 2 meters away from other people, basically. We also use this as an adjective now, socially distanced. So you can say, for example, I met my friend for a socially distanced walk, which means that you went out for a walk, always outside, you're not allowed to meet indoors, and you maintained, a distance between yourself and your friend. You didn't hug them, you didn't touch them, you kept a meter or 2. So you can say, for example, a socially distanced walk. Another good phrase might be a socially distanced classroom, because of course, last year children and students were going to university and schools, but they had certain restrictions. So they had socially distanced classrooms, meaning the desks were spread out so that they could keep away from each other, less contact with each other. Although at the moment in the UK, the schools are closed now. They've been closed since beginning of February, actually. So that's another thing. A lot of parents have been homeschooling their children, which is such a difficult job, I think. Staying at home, maybe working from home as well, and looking after your kid and helping them, it must be really tough. I know a lot of people who are doing that. They're homeschooling their kids. So basically the schools are sending material to the parents, and the parents are giving the material to their kids so they can help them with their work. They're also doing lessons on online platforms like Zoom, which has become a lifesaver during coronavirus times. Yeah, that's it. Sue says, in Korea, gatherings for more than 5 people are prohibited. Okay. You should say gatherings of more than 5 people. But we had similar restrictions last year when the restrictions were eased. I think it was a group of 6 was the maximum in the UK. But at the moment, you can only meet one other person outside of your household. So you have to be outdoors. You cannot go and meet them for a coffee in a cafe or restaurant, because all the cafes and restaurants are closed. They're only doing delivery services and things like that here in the UK. So it's full lockdown right now. Yeah. We have Janny. Welcome, by the way, Janny. Thank you for joining us today, your first time. So you're in Shanghai, are you? Okay. So I heard that other countries are doing online learning, and in Shanghai I am teaching at an international school offline. Are you offline? Oh, interesting. Here in the UK, everything has gone online. So there are some people who still have to go to work. Unfortunately, they're unable to work from home. But I would say most people have moved to online working and schools as well. Yeah, that's it. Charlotte says, oh gosh, how come if parents have a job? Yeah, I think it's really tough. I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest. It's really hard. Yeah. It is tricky. Yeah, it is. I guess, I was speaking to a couple of friends last year who were doing that, and they were taking it in shifts. So like the father would work in the morning whilst the mother's looking after the kids. And then they would swap. So afternoon, evening, the mother would work and he would look after the kids. So it was kind of like a rota. I don't know if that works for everybody, because of course not everybody has flexible hours with their jobs. I think employers are trying their best to be flexible. But it's quite, it's a new normal, as we said. It's a new world kind of thing. What about you guys? Have you been working from home, any of you? Have you been using Zoom all the time? And has it changed your life in any way? I've been working from home since last March, so nearly a year now, teaching online. I've actually really enjoyed working from home because it allows me to have more time for myself when I finish work, because it cuts out the long journey that I used to take to get into central London. So I save time. So it's quite nice. But then at the same time, obviously because of lockdown, I haven't been able to meet my friends and family very much. So it's been quite hard in that respect. Not only me, of course, everyone in the UK is feeling it. But that's kind of how it feels over here, because it's quite strict at the moment on lockdown. Jamie says, definitely Zoom is a lifesaver. It certainly is. Yeah, I couldn't do anything without Zoom. Hello to Chloe, welcome back. Sun Young says, there are a lot of people who have to go out, but people are cursed at them. Ah, really? So people are cursing at them. It would be nice if you can consider more about, yeah, I agree with you. They should consider that. Yeah. So you mean people are going out because they don't have a choice. They don't have the choice to work from home, and other strangers are annoyed with them. I mean, that's not really fair. I mean, everyone's doing their best, right? I mean, if you have to go out, then you have to go out, right? I mean, yeah. Sun Young is having classes online. Yes, lots of students are doing that. It's been quite convenient, I think, for students to have lessons online instead of having to travel anywhere. Some of you are asking me, do I miss my colleagues, my office? Yeah, that's a good point. To be honest, I miss having other colleagues to kind of chat to, So when you're in an office, of course, you bump into your colleagues, you have a joke, maybe you have lunch together, you have a coffee together, and you kind of, talk about things and have a laugh, which is lovely. So I do miss that part of it, definitely. But I don't miss traveling to work, commuting to work. And I also have more time now for myself, like to do exercise after work, to eat more healthily, because I'm not getting home late. I'm able to cook and kind of be a bit more healthy in that way. But I really miss like going to restaurants and pubs and like meeting my friends whenever I want. So I hope that restrictions will ease soon, but we don't know at the moment. We don't know. People predict what's going to happen, but they don't really. Nobody really knows at the moment what's going to happen. It depends on whether the numbers go down, basically. Yeah. Charlotte says, I hate commuting to work. Better to work at home. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's tiring. That's right. So we have a couple of comments here. Hello to Krish. Welcome. Oh, you need to do a test before your next lesson. Oh, okay. Good luck with your test. Sue says, I'm teaching students from home. I'm happy because I can lie down during break times. Yes, exactly. You can chill out, you can watch TV. Yeah, it's great during your break. That's true. Yeah, good point. Interesting comment from Janny as well about teaching online from February. Nice. Let's have a look at some other ones. Foodie says, I think we're going to have to live with the virus until this time next year. Yeah, I mean, some people are more optimistic than others. Some people think, in a few months' time, hopefully things will be back to normal. Other people I've spoken to have said, oh, this year is gone already. Like, we can't do anything. Oh, I think we need to try and stay positive, right? I mean, I know it's really hard because staying at home and not seeing friends and family is really difficult for your mental health. I think. Lots of people have been experiencing mental issues, especially when they live alone, you know, in isolation. In the UK, the NHS, so the National Health System, they have been trying to get volunteers to phone elderly people who live alone or vulnerable people who live alone, and you know, just talk to them, have a chat, make them feel less lonely, and also like help like with delivering groceries to people who can't go out and things like that, which is a really good initiative. And yeah, I actually did it myself a few times. People alerted me. So there's like an app that you have on your phone. Like people alerted me saying they needed help. And then when I phoned them, they didn't actually need any help. They just wanted to chat. They just wanted to talk. So we did. And it seems that people are lonely, you know, like especially if they live alone, they're feeling lonely. So they like to chat, you know. So if any of you guys have relatives or friends who live alone, yeah, call them. Even 5 minutes to call your grandmother or something, you know, it's nice. They love to hear your voice. It really opened my eyes to this, actually, this experience. Yeah. Yeah, Julie says, I heard some people living alone have a pet to keep company during these hard times. Yeah, definitely. Having a pet would definitely help, I think. If even, you know, even if it's just you and your pet, it's a way of kind of having some interaction, I guess. Yeah. Lani, thank you for your comment. So you said, is it called Corona Blues? Blues with an S. Yeah, you could say the Corona Blues. Yeah. Blues meaning like sadness or depression. Yeah, you could call it that. Hello to Eden. Welcome. Got lots of new names today. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Jenny says, thanks to tech, I can still contact my mum. There you go. Yeah, me too. My mum and dad and my sister live abroad. They live in Malta. So, of course, we've been texting every day, and sometimes we video call as well. Because, yeah, I don't know when the next time I can go to Malta will be. Hopefully not too far away. We'll see. But, yeah, it's important to keep in contact. Charlotte says, I have to call my grandpa. There you go. That's it. We have a comment here. As I heard, the period of uncertainty culminates into the Bretty feeling loneliness. Maybe Brits feeling loneliness. Yes, definitely. Yeah, this uncertainty, not knowing, not being able to plan anything. It's quite difficult, I think, not planning things, not having anything to look forward to because we don't know when we'll be able to see each other again, when we'll be able to go out to a pub or a restaurant. That sort of thing. Obviously, the vaccine rollout is something that has brought some hope to everyone. That's another good phrase to remember, the vaccine rollout, which basically means providing the vaccine to people. So you can say that the vaccine rollout has been quick, or the vaccine rollout is quite slow. So that's a good phrase to remember. You'll probably hear it in the news quite a lot. Yeah, in the UK, the vaccine rollout hasn't been too bad. The last time I watched the news, I think it was about, I'm not sure how many people have been vaccinated yet. I think it was maybe 1 million by the end of January. Let me have a look what it is today, in case you're curious. Apparently 10 million people have already received their first dose of the vaccine. Yeah. And of course they need to have a second dose as well, because you need to have 2 doses. Okay, so that's a good word as well, dose. So in the case of the COVID vaccine, you need 2 doses. I think you have one dose and then you have another dose about 30 days later or 23 days later. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, vaccine rollout. Good phrase to remember. That's it. Chan says, I want someone to call me. Oh, and Sewu says, hi, Chan. Nice one. Nice one. That's funny. Julie says, UAE is the top country to get vaccinated the most. Really? Wow. Lucky them. I actually heard that Israel also have vaccinated the whole country already, which is amazing. I mean, it's not a massive country, but they're clearly on it with vaccinating everyone. Somebody here says we will start the vaccine rollout next week in South Korea. That's great news. Fantastic. It gives, a bit of hope, doesn't it? Yeah. Daniel, but you are waiting for the second one. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. I haven't even had my first one yet. So yeah. Stefania says, since I heard the phrase rollout about coronavirus, I've noticed more people use this phrase also in different contexts. Aha. Yeah, rollout. Good question. Like some of you ask me, what does rollout mean? So obviously rollout is a noun, and it means like when an occasion when a company starts to use a new product, okay, or a company introduces a new product. So in this case, it would mean the situation where the government is introducing the COVID vaccine as their product. So yeah, you'll hear it a lot in the news. COVID vaccine rollout. Yeah, that's it. Sewu says, I'm really sick of coronavirus. I wish it has gone soon. Yes, me too. You should say, I wish it goes soon, or I hope it goes soon. Yeah. Julie has a question. Can I use it as a verb? For example, the vaccine rolled out last week. You can. You'd have to say the vaccine was rolled out. So it needs to be used in the passive form because somebody is rolling it out. Yeah. So the vaccine was rolled out last week. Yeah. It's like released, foodie. Yeah, exactly it. Yeah. Like launched. It's kind of like launched, I suppose. Yeah, very good. Okay, well, I also wanted to teach you guys some interesting new words and phrases that have come up because of coronavirus. I'm going to give you one, tell you one, and I want you to tell me, what do you think this means? Have a look at my board. Let's call this a mini quiz. Can anyone guess what this new word refers to? What is a COVIDiot? Does anybody have any idea what COVIDiot means? Okay, you can imagine. COVID idiot, Charlotte says. Basically, yes, it does mean COVID idiot. And what do you think a COVID idiot is? Corona fool, Sky says. Yeah, Sanyang says people without masks. People who don't care about COVID, Foodie says. Yeah, basically that. Yeah, so a COVIDiot. It's a new phrase we're using. It's basically a person who annoys others by refusing to obey the rules. For example, not wearing a mask, not following social distancing rules, etc. So we can call them a COVIDiot. That's it. COVIDiot. COVID idiot. New word. So you could say, look at those COVIDiots over there having a party. Okay? So that's a new one. Yeah, a new COVID phrase that has come up recently. Yeah. Yeah, somebody who doesn't care about the rules, somebody who doesn't, is a bit ignorant to the rules and doesn't care, basically. Yeah. And maybe somebody who believes in fake news, Beatrice, perhaps, yeah. Okay, guys, I have another one for you. Okay, we were talking about Zoom, right? So I have a new Corona word for you, a trending word. What do you think this means? Write in the chat what you think it means. Any ideas what Zoomware is? Some of you are saying that you can use the phrase COVIDiot quite a lot because you've noticed lots of COVIDiots around. Yes, I have seen a few myself. So, what is Zoomware, guys? Any ideas what Zoomware is? Okay, Sky says clothes for Zoom. Stefania says outfit for Zoom meetings. Very good, very good. Sunyang says the top is formal, the bottom is pajamas. Exactly, guys. Well done, well done, well done. So it's clothes which are suitable for the office above the waist, yeah, and casual clothes below the waist, yeah. So maybe your pajamas. We can call this Zoom wear. So you could say, I've got my Zoom wear on for my next meeting. Yeah. So guys, have you ever worn Zoom wear? It's okay, you can tell me and the rest of our friends over here. I'm currently wearing Zoom wear myself. No, I'm joking. I'm actually wearing like proper trousers. But like, you know, it's quite funny to sit there with your shirt on and then pajamas below. I haven't done it myself, but maybe I should start doing it and calling it my Zoom wear. Yeah, pretty funny. I'm sure a lot of people have been doing this, for sure. Yeah, that's it. I won't prove it though, okay? I'm not going to prove it today. Okay, how can we believe you? Oh, don't be testing me now, okay? Funny. Okay, I'm going to give you one more new COVID word, okay? Which I think is pretty funny. And I want you to tell me what you think it means. It's actually quite new for me, this word. So yeah, tell me what you think an infit is. Any ideas what infit means? Jamie says, I already prepared a lot of Zoomware. Julie says, also saving money for shopping. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although apparently during the coronavirus, people have been spending a lot of money online. Have you guys been spending a lot of money online? Julie says, opposite of outfit. Well done, Julie. You got it. Well done. It is. It's the opposite of an outfit. So obviously you know the word outfit, which means like the clothes that you're wearing. So maybe like a top and trousers, that would be outfit. But of course, nobody can go out, so we're calling it infit instead. So you could say, for example, what's your favorite infit? My favorite infit is, I don't know, pajamas, for example, or trousers and a t-shirt. Yeah, so we call it infit. I thought that was quite funny when I saw that the other day, so I thought I would share it with you. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'll give you one more just because you mentioned it about spending money. So apparently, as I said before, like loads of people have been spending lots of money during the pandemic. So this has also become a new word. Instead of saying pandemic, you could say Spandemic, which is basically a mixture of the word spend plus pandemic. And apparently, yeah, you could say that there has been a spendemic recently, which means an increase in online shopping during the pandemic. That's it. So yeah, apparently that's a thing, a spendemic. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been definitely spending more money online than I used to. I'm doing all of my grocery shopping online because I don't want to go to the supermarket because apparently that's the worst place to go for coronavirus. And yeah, I've been trying to treat myself and cheer myself up by buying things online as well. So yeah, I get it. Spendemic. There we go. So we had some new kind of trending words. We had Zoomware, we had Spandemic, we had Infit, and we had Covidiot. Great words for our current times. Charlotte says, I am on a Spandemic. There you go. There you go. And of course, we've had lots of useful words that we can use and which we will hear in the news, like frontline workers, vaccine rollout, restrictions, rule breakers, social distancing, lockdown, etc., etc. So lots of vocabulary today. But unfortunately, guys, we've come to an end. I think we could talk about this for another whole hour, probably. But we don't have time today. We're running out. So I'd like to say thank you guys for joining in. Brilliant participation today. Lots of new people, actually, that I noticed, as well as our regular followers. And thank you for joining in. It's been wonderful talking to you guys. I hope you found it useful. Thank you. And I'll see you next week. I'll be here next week, same time. So it's 1 p.m. GMT on this channel. But next time we'll talk about something else. Okay? And as usual, always you can ask me questions in the chat. All right. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. All right. Take care. Bye.